Good evening. I'll put this on the front. Good evening and welcome to the craft store and welcome to John Next Door and the Art of Craft and Crafts too, a sort of a big collaboration. I'm just going to say hello to a few people first before we actually get started. There are loads of people joining us. So hello Jan, hello Helen, hello Yvonne, hello, we got Helen Louise, Muriel, flicking through, Judith, Fiona, Karen. Hello, good evening, welcome to the Craft Cave here. The craft store shows can come live from the studio, or like this, they can come live from either our own studios or as we are in here. This is my Craft Cave. This is where I work and craft at home. And I just think that's the nicest place because I've got everything with me, so I can show you everything. And I can show you everything. So, yeah, good evening, Deborah. Good evening, Jen. Good evening, Pam. So you're watching us live on the Craft Store, Facebook, or you can be watching on YouTube. And I'm going to be really naughty and have a look and say, yes, we have people watching on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. I can't find any names on that because if you're watching us on YouTube, then we can't see the comments. If you've got any questions, if you want to ask anything or say anything, then pop over to Facebook and put it on there because I can see all of those in front of me and I can try and answer all of your questions, help you wherever I can or anything like that. So we are back again 6 o'clock on a Sunday night here on the Craft Store, which is something we've been doing for a few weeks and we are intending to carry on for a few more. We've got a few more shows sort of booked in, and what we're doing is we're launching our new products here so that you get an opportunity to get them direct. So you can buy them direct from us via the Art of Craft. So you're getting them direct from the Art of Craft and Crafts too. And you are getting exclusive deals. So what we're launching on here and what you're going to be seeing tonight are exclusive to us here. So you won't be able to find them anywhere else. They are just here. Which is really, really good. So really I should talk about what we're going to be doing, and I'm going to click one of these handy little graphics. So we're launching tonight a brand new die set, and what we've been doing is rather than launching big bundles, we're launching things in little chunks so you can choose which bit you want and which bit you don't. So these are designed to match perfectly with last week's collection or with any John Next Door collection or with anything else at all. So I'm going to hold these up so you can see them. These are that new, I don't even have these in packaging. So I don't have packaging. I can't show you the posh little pictures and everything like that. All I can show you is the actual physical products. And sometimes I think that's better because they look a lot bigger. So this is the brand new bundle launching tonight. You'll have only seen samples. You won't have seen this anywhere. And quite a few people were asking about this because it was on quite a lot of last week's samples when we launched the last of the notched frame maker dies, the notched vine die. So I'm going to start with the Morella leaves or the Morella vines. I absolutely love this one. Now, the bundle price is £21.59, which is saving £5 on the RRP. So you're saving £5 on this. So you're going to get the leaves. Now, the leaves are like £9.99 anyway. So, you know, it means you're paying, I think it's something like £11 for the flowers. So these are the Morella vines, really beautiful, delicate, intricate vines. Then you get with it the brand new Tatty Gerbera. Now, I did a Tatty daisy die a few years ago, and so many people, it completely sold out. So many people said, would you bring it back? And we don't bring dies back. So this is a completely different drawing. It's completely different petals, similar idea, but different sizes, different styles. So this is the Tatty Gerbera plate. And as you can see, this will actually give you, it's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 flowers in one pass. But it ties exactly with the Morella vines. And I will go through the dies, but I want to show you, first of all, I'm going to go overhead so I can show you these. The first two samples. This first one is, to me, that's the closest thing I've ever seen to a Gerbera made in paper. And you can see how beautifully those vines work with it, how well they fit in, and how they've got that curl and that swathe, and they just work perfectly. Now, these are actually with one of the other special offer dies we've got on tonight, which comes as a pair. This is actually with the crosshatch, but I will show you that in a little bit. But I want to show you this one as well. How beautiful those Gerberas look when they're all made in different colours. This is all using that canvas card. So absolutely, if I get really close, if I can get really close and get it right, never get the lighting right, you see the texture. But to me, they really do look like Gerberas. So I have got a few more samples to show you, and I'm going to pull those so that I can hold them up. Now, as per usual, we have got a lot of videos. There's 3 videos just for these flowers already made. So remember, this is an exclusive launch tonight. That price there, get it right way. Can't do it. Can't poke the right way. Can never do that. $21.59 will get you both of these dies. And that's priced to you in the UK delivered. Because remember, with the Art of Craft, it is free postage and packing for everybody. No club, no joining or anything. But it's free postage and packaging to anyone who spends over £20. So you're saving yourselves another £3.49 on that, which is the P&P under that. But you can see here how beautifully those Gerberas look and how gorgeous those morella sort of vines are twisting around. And you get 2 dies in the vines, so it will actually cut twice. But this is absolutely perfect for adding flowers onto your background pieces. I'm going to show you how to demo, so I'm going to demo all of these, but I'm going to show you exactly how to make all of it. But look, that to me, just in white, it's almost like a sort of a daisy. Think about doing this in yellow paper, because these are so deep. Think about doing it in yellow paper and you'll get absolutely sort of beautiful dandelions and things. Here's one of our Helen's cards. Just again, really, how much do those flowers pop when you mix them in yellow and grey? But this is the other option we've got for you tonight. So this is, if you missed out on the brand new notched frames last week, you can see how perfectly here with this sample these go with it. So this bundle is £39.58, and for this bundle you are saving £9 plus free P&P. So you're going to get free postage and packaging on this one. So you're going to get the leaves, the flowers, and you're going to get the die, which is the notched frames die. So that's that one there. But of course they were all tied together. And I've had a question. John, is the stamp sentiment on the first card you showed from the Art of Craft? The stamp sentiment on the first card, this one, is coming out next Sunday. So it's brand new. I've used it early. I'm really sorry, Erica. But it's on a stamp set that we've got coming out next Sunday, which I think is Easter Sunday. So don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday. So that is the notch vine. So you can get that, which is a massive 6x6 die set. You can get the brand new Tatty Gerbera, and you're going to get the leaves all together. So that would be the full bundle, and you can get all of that together if you want to for that £39.58. And remember, that is posted to you. So in the UK, that is free P&P. So good flick to the overhead so I can show you a few more samples here. And these are cards I'm going to demo, but these are from the video. But you can see here, this die has been designed. This is coloured through. So you can use your white card and all of your inks and all of the posh inks you've got to make your Gerberas, or like this, they almost look like daisies. There's so many different flowers can be made with this. Can be made just using this one die. And you see how perfectly, again, those vines work in with that crosshatch die. And on that crosshatch die, I am going to go through that one. I'm going to add that one on. We have got the crosshatch at an amazing exclusive bundle price tonight. So you're going to get both dies in that set. So both the tall crosshatch comes with the beautiful tulips and the square crosshatch, which comes with the thistle flowers. And that one is just £19.99. You're saving, I think it's £6, because these are £12.99 each. So that's a really good one to throw into your basket if you're wanting something else. So that's another new option tonight. I'm just leaving that up for a second because I want to show you. I've actually made, so that's what I've used on this card that Erica was asking about the sentiment. And remember, if you've got any questions, pop onto Facebook and pop it in the comments and just write the word question in front or a letter Q so that we can see that you've got a question, and we'll try my hardest to answer it for you if I can. And as Sammy always says, if it's relevant, which always helps. But you see here, again, how gorgeous, just in 2 colours. This isn't using a full set. This is not using a full set of these Gerberas. This is using just, I think it's about not even half a set. Again, with those morella vines, you see how well they work. Having the right leaves, to me, are really, really important. And this is the sort of card I look at and think this would be a Helen card, one of our angels, because it's just so clean and simple. Or these was using some waste pieces. A beautiful tall, again, using that crosshatch. But you see how well Gerberas have such a pop of colour. And when you mix it in with our new canvas card, which you will find on the Art of Craft website, then you can get some amazing things. So I guess Sammy's going to pop us the link on. Ooh, I think I'll have to do that one. Where are we? There we go. Put the link on. But you see here again, just to set off that sentiment. Absolutely. They are to me absolutely beautiful. I've got sort of piles and piles and piles of samples that I want to show you, because I really think it's important to look at what we can actually achieve. So this is where you tie them in with that bigger bundle, that £39.58 £9 saving bundle. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's lovely. Patricia Johnson. Just found you, John. What joy. Since the other channel went off air, how often are you on the Craft Store? We're on the Craft Store every Sunday at 6 o'clock. We go out live on a Wednesday night on the John Next Door official page. We go out at 7 o'clock on a Wednesday on the John Next Door official page. And we go out every Saturday on the Art of Craft page. So if you join the John Next Door official page, Patricia, it tells you all the shows that we're doing. So this is showing how beautifully this notched frame is designed to work. You can see the leaves are almost the same as the tying in of the back. Or here, where, again, this is one of our Carols, and it's one of our Helens, sorry, Helen, where she's tied them in and made sort of multi-tier flowers, again, using that one. Yeah, this one is one of Carol's, but look where she's used slightly thinner and she's scrunched it up to give you absolutely gorgeous flower. And these green leaves are, again, that Tatty Gerbera just been cut and used as a backing. Or here's one that, again, our Helen's made, using that notched, but making them into almost like warm daisies. You know, the big daisies that you get. You know, working so well with those tracery from it. Again, here, in bright orange. Colours you wouldn't normally use in flowers. That's what I think we can achieve with these 2 dies. So these are the 2 brand new dies we're launching tonight. Available exclusively here on the Craft Store. So you can only get these through us, through the Art of Craft. So you click on the link. So if you're wondering how to buy, you click on the link that we've just put on, and that will take you straight to the page that has everything we're using tonight on it. So that has everything on, and you can get both of these dies exclusively posted to you free of charge, because it's free P&P over £20 on the Art of Craft, and that's getting it directly through us, and you'll get these sent to your home. So literally the price you're seeing on the screen just there at £21.59 is all you'll pay, and these are exclusive to us here. But one of the things that I think we all tune in for, and one of the things we want to see, is a demonstration. And what I want to show you is this. I think looks amazing. This is one of my prep boards. Let's put it that way. So I've used some scraps here of just our canvas card in a mixture of colours, but I really feel like I've got some amazing Gerbera type flowers or daisies. You can go sunflowers. There's so much you can do, but the design was set to do this perfectly for you. So I want to show you how easy these are to make, and then we're going to make up a card with them. So I've got the Tatty Gerbera die here. Yeah, so this is the Tatty Gerbera die, and all I need to do is to grab a piece of card. Now I've got a piece of card here that's cut down to 5 3/4 by 4 1/8. Yeah, and this is effectively, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a quarter of A4. So all my current flower dies fit exactly 4 times onto A4 card if you cut it that way. And all we need to do, tape it down. Again, I'm using the Craft Artist low tack tape, which again is available on the Art of Craft page. If anybody's wanting that, or you're wanting anything I'm using, will be available on there. And we simply put it down on our die cutting machine and run it through. I'm going to run it through, but obviously for speed and time, I've got one already cut. So I've got one here already cut and made out. And what you get is 2 extra large, 2 large, 2 medium, 2 small, and then 5 minis or centres. And to me, those are the ones you want to do in white, put a little yellow in the middle and make them like little daisies around everywhere. But just to show you, one pass through, we get all of those pieces cut in one pass. So you've got all 4 of the bigger sizes and then 5 centres through the middle. And making these up to a Gerbera, honestly, could not be easier. So I'm using the glue glaze. So this is the best thing ever for putting flowers together. And all I'm going to do is pop a little blob of glue glaze in the centre of one of each size. And then simply I'm going to put the same size on top and rotate it. And this is the difference with this flower. These petals are chunkier than I've drawn before in this sort of fine petal flower. I mean, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. I think it's 13 petals in each flower. But it's so easy. You just offset it, no set way. So you're not trying to make sure and spending hours going, oh, which way does it go on? You just bung it on top. Because the idea is that it looks like a proper sort of flower. It's so much more delicate and so easy to cut. And that's the benefit of having it in a plate. Can you imagine trying to tape down, what, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 dies onto a piece of card? Taping 13 dies on a piece of card would take hours, whereas it's just one piece straight through, so easily done. So you can see there's 4 done straight away. To do the centres, I'm using a little bit of our moulding foam. So this is just the Craft Artist sort of flower moulding foam, which is quite hard. You can do this in your hand, but it's a lot easier doing it here. And all you're going to do is just scribble in the middle, press on hard, ball tool comes with it, but with a ball tool like that. Because I notice, and the reason I've done this is I noticed that Gerberas all have, if you look them up, you look up a picture of them online, you'll see that they all have sort of like almost a secondary set of petals halfway down before the centre. And that's what I wanted to give you with this. So all we do is take that centre panel out and pop it in. 1 in each of those. So it means you've got a centre, if you want to make them up this way, for each of the 4 sizes and a spare. And that's honestly how simple it is. But if you look there, look, I've done no shaping. I've done no moulding at all. So I've not shaped or moulded that. All I've done is mould that centre. But how much like 3D flowers do they look already without me having to do any of that faffing about or you know, moulding them up or doing any of that? That's it. So what am I going to put in the centre? Well, the centres, I always think for Gerberas, they're almost like a brown or they're a black. So I'm going to use these, which are the sparkle gems. These are our faceted sparkle gems that come in 2 sizes. And for tonight's show, we've put these on a special offer. I've just put that at the side, but to show you, these are, I think it's less than half price. So you're going to get 6 packs, and they're not, a contents may vary. You are going to get the blush, you're going to get the Air Force, you're going to get the violet, you're going to get the silver, which I love, those for Christmas. You're going to get the apple, and these we're going to use in a minute. These are absolutely perfect. When you're creating gentle and delicate flowers, having that greeny yellow centre, and then the black, which I think are really important for your gerberas, or for a lot of flowers have that. If you think about it like the dog daisies and things, they have black centres to them. So what I'm going to do is, and I found the best way to do these, right tool for the right job. So for the largest one, I'm going to take one of the black faceted sparkle gems, and I'm using my knife. I find that's the easiest way, but look, pop that on. That really does, look at all those facets sparkle. Those really do look like you've bought gerberas. You've got beautiful gerberas. So I can go for that bigger size again in the middle of the sort of second size, the large size. Then I'm going to go for the smaller in the centre of the next two. And then if I want to add that little one on again, I can go for that smaller one in the centre. But there, in effectively less than 5 minutes, I've made 3, 4, 5 gerberas in a row. Absolutely beautiful flowers. And there's no shaping, there's no messing about with these. They're so simple to do. So of course I've got those there. You saw how quick that was. I timed myself making this board because I'm really boring of making all of the different colours, and I literally used scrap card, because what I do is I pull together all of the pieces of card I've got into one of our die cutting boxes that is around that size, and I just sat and cut them, and it took me 30 minutes to cut all of these. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. Jackie ordered, wasn't planning to buy anything, but got 2 bundles. I'm sorry, Jackie. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we're launching it like this. We're trying to give you options on bundles. So no big 50, 60, 100, 200 pound bundles. This is all about giving you options so you could get all of them. But the one thing I would say is, if you're going for the Gerbera bundle, and I know I don't normally say this, go for this one. Go for the crosshatch. If you want to make cards where your flowers look the main feature, go for these, because that's what I'm going to do for this first card. And all I've done is I've got myself a card made. So let's just move these so I've got a little bit more room. Honestly, I prepare everything on boards and things, and then I need to, because we're working on my desk, we're on live here. So I've just stamped this sentiment: may all your birthday wishes come true. Today is the day I'm thinking of you. Love that sentiment. That's coming out next Sunday night at 6, along with some new stamps and a brilliant offer on some pens. But if you can see, I just put those flowers on. They are beautiful, but it's overpowered that card. So this is where I'm going to put in the crosshatch. So I've taken from that crosshatch deal, so that is both die sets for £19.99. Yeah, it's just, I mean, as Jackie's just said, yep, I ordered the crosshatch die set. They'll be so useful. They will. You're going to find yourself using this more than you ever think. So for speed, I'm going to use a bit of spray glue. And I'm being very good not to spray it on my floor, because I've learnt that. But if I just go on with that to one side in grey, suddenly that card, it's already making sense. If I just pop the flowers on now, how much better does that look? How amazing is that? It really works. But I want to use the new leaves and the new vines because they were made to match. So I'm going to use the morella vines, and I've brought in some pieces I've got cut. So I want to show you the dies because something slightly different than normal on this. Yeah. So normally I do you a left and a right. There isn't. These, the larger one points to the left, the smaller one points to the right. And that is intentional. And what I've done is, to make it easier, because can you imagine you're going to lose those small dies? Because I've lost a lot of mine recently. A lot of my small dies. I actually lost 3 from a set before I got to a workshop yesterday. So if you did join us for the workshop, thank you. It was a wonderful time. So you see there, those little leaves would get lost. So I've put them together. So they're in one piece. So it's 2 dies, which gives you 4 die cuts. But what was that? Why have I done them different direction? Not done them different directions this time. And the reason is, if you see, look, that points that way. If I take this one, which is the same size, and rotate it, look, it goes off. It doesn't work right. Whereas, can you see there, it creates an S. It creates a full vine because they're the same. If they were opposite, it wouldn't work. As daft as that sounds, that's the reason why. So if they were the other way, if they were left and right, look, they don't both only ever create that. It doesn't work. So that's why I've done that. So I'm going to add some of this to my card. And these are so delicate. They've got, if I can bring it up, and this is the smaller one. Let's bring this right up to the camera. Can you see there that those, they've got little slots in them. It's not a full leaf. They've got little slots and little dots all the way around it, which makes them look even more delicate. So to glue these on, I'm just going to use a little bit of glue glaze. Easiest thing to do for these sort of delicate leaves, because you don't have to worry about it squidging everywhere. Once it's on, it's not going to squidge out and ruin your card at all. Good evening, Nicola. So now you can see, on top of that, I can create a perfect vine that goes in the opposite directions. You see how that S's through. Absolutely perfect. So it is something different. Again, because we did wonder who was going to be the first person to say, oh, they're supposed to go in opposite directions. And it took about 4 days, longer than I thought. So a little bit of Craft Artist 3D glue gel. But what I'm going to do is, this is why I made these up in lots of different colours. Because you can get away with it with a Gerbera. So I'm going for almost a different size each time and mixing them round, taking them off that board. But if you can see there, actually I need another one up there, don't I? I need to balance that pinky colour. So let's go with a lilac up the top. No, I haven't used that one. There we go. But you see there how beautiful and how that card actually works. Yeah, really simple, but how much like Gerberas they actually look. Yeah, and that's what I wanted to achieve with this, with those leaves. And of course, I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these flowers, but out of all those colours, I've still got all of these left to do something else. So that's what I'd really recommend with this. As soon as you get this home, if you order this bundle, as I say, it's £21.59. That's including free postage and packaging. You're saving £5 on the RRP, and these aren't available anywhere else. So this is an exclusive launch. But the first thing you want to do when you receive this is to cut as many different coloured flowers and make them up as you can, because I think it just works. Because there, you can make so many cards straight away from that. So that's how we do that one. But the other thing I wanted to show you, and I've got so many demos, is what if we want to do something a little bit cleaner and simpler, or we want to get something like, you know, those big sort of daisies that you get in the fields. So what I thought I'd do is show you how well this works with the notched frame. So this has been made using the notched frame die, which is available in that bigger bundle. So if you missed the brand new launch last week, this is what we launched last week, which is the notch frame maker. And all I've done for this, and again, all the videos are on there, but can you see, all I've done is use the frame maker and use 2 of those corner dies and cut them out of green, and then popped it onto a frame maker made of white to give me that. And then I've just got in the background, I've literally got a piece of embossed card. Yeah, this is actually using the Chrysanthemum 3D embossing folder from Presscut. So if you click on the link we've just popped on there, if you look on, that will take you straight to the page with all of tonight's special deals and tonight's exclusive launch on there. But also, if you then go on, you can add those to your basket, but then look through the rest of the page, you'll see all the other products I'm using if there's something else you want to go. And one thing we always say is have a look through the clearance section. It's always worthwhile having a look through there because we've just added a load of new products on there, so it's always worth having a go. So I'm just going to pop that onto a card, 7x7, matted and layered, but it's pretty. But hopefully you can see now, I'm going to bring in these little daisies I've made. This is why these were sort of designed to go together, because you can see you've got that little sort of stitch detail. But for something as simple as that, how well those little ones work with those vines. They're exactly the same sort of vines as we've had before. So let's pull these ones. And remember, the dies I'm using, so you've got this bundle here, which is an exclusive bundle, or you can get just the brand new flowers and leaves showing on there. So I wanted to show you, how do we make those almost sort of simple daisies? And this is one of the easiest things to do. So here I've got my pieces cut. So I could cut them again, and all I have to do is to take the Tatty Gerbera die, put it onto a piece of card that is 5 inches, 5 3/4 inches by 4 1/8, run that through and cut it, and of course it will fit through all of your standard A5 machines. So it'll fit through your Cuttlebug and your Big Shot and your anything, everything, and things like that. Oh, I love that comment. So if you've got any questions, pop it in the comments. That's what we're here for. But Nicola's just made a brilliant one. My brother said even if I won the lotto, I would be head down, bum up in the clearance baskets. Yeah, you're right, Nicola. That's me. If I ever won the lottery, I would be going through the clearance sections. I'd still be doing a TK Maxx dash and running through to see, oh, what have they got that's some really good price today. So all you need to do, I'm going to save this because I'm going to show you another technique with this in a minute. But I've just popped these all out. So I've popped all of these out. So again, you get the 2 extra large, you get the 2 large, you get the 2 medium, you get the 2 smalls, and then you get the 5 little centres. So, and I always lay my flowers out. This is why I love the Crafts 2 multi-use mat, because look, these won't move. They'll stick to the desk. Yeah? So, all I'm going to do is take a little bit of, let's find the right, here we go. Everything always goes off. I'm using the Fusion ink. This is Aurora Fusion ink in Mimosa. But you use any yellow ink at all and a finger dauber, and take some and just scribble in the middle with your yellow or with your green, you know, whichever colour you want. Now, I've done the 3 largest size with the finger dauber, but to do the smaller size, I'm going to use one of the wooden foam daubers because I don't want it to completely cover it. And the same through with these little ones. So I'm just colouring those little ones in the middle, just like that. But already they're looking like daisies. Now, if I want them quite full, do the same again. But I'm only doing 3. I'm taking a little bit of glue glaze. I'm putting it in the middle of each of those flowers, of one of each size, and I'm just going to rotate round any old how, literally. You're moving it any way you want to. I always do that and then get it wrong and don't try and overdo it. But then they look like those sort of flowers that you get in the fields. You know, when you're driving or you're walking in the countryside and you see the sort of like dog daisies, I think they're called. How much? But that looks again already as if it's been 3D'd. Question, would these mix with the tattered daisy flower? They will, Nicola. It is a different shape leaf. It's a fatter leaf, but you could mix, if you've got that one, these would mix together beautifully, giving you more layers. So this time I'm going to bring in, and I've got to open a new packet, which is probably why I love these so much. I picked up my order yesterday. I'm very lucky. I picked up my order yesterday, and I ordered some more of these. So remember, these are on a special offer tonight. So the faceted sparkle gems, you're going to get 6 packs, which is 1 pack of each colour for just £9.99. And you're saving £10 on that. I think you're actually saving more. But this is the apple colour. But look how beautiful that looks in the centre. Because it's a sort of appley green, you get the sparkle. So fresh. So I'm going to use, again, 2 large ones in the 2 largest. I'm going to use a smaller one in the centre of the next size down. A smaller one in that one, a smaller one in that one, and then with these little mini ones, all I'm going to do is I've taken some of, and we haven't got these on the same page, but they are available on the Art of Craft site. If anyone's looking, these are the rainbow dewdrops that I've used. So if you want the code, it's CAT100. And I've pulled out the green and yellow ones for these because I don't want to. It's because I'm a bit cheap, or I'm a bit careful, and I don't want to waste a whole sparkle gem for these smaller flowers. So all I'm going to do is pop a little bit of glue glaze in the centre of each of those smaller flowers, just like that. Take my 4-in-1 tool and pop a different colour, but you see with the glass beads it just works, giving me that same idea without having to waste all of my sparkle gems. And there we go. So there, very quickly and easily made, I've got from one piece of A4, so from one piece of A4 card, here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 flowers from one piece of A4 card. Oh, that's a lovely, Sylvie says, call it Moon Daisy. What a nice idea. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Sarah says, such pretty flowers, she's just ordered them. I feel bad when people say that. There's just so much you can do with them. Oops, don't sparkle, go in the right place. There we go. But we can make the whole sort of project. So I'm using the notched flowers in here. So I'm using that notched frame bundle as well. And then I'm using the morella vines. But again, I've cut these in the same green. And I've just cut myself one full set, which is the 2 dies. But hopefully, if I put that on white and bring that up, can you see there the little, sort of, as I said, the little notches that you get on each individual leaf? They are completely variegated. They're not like a normal one. So I've got 2, just one full set of those cut. Nice and simple. Now, what I'm going to do to make this a little bit speedier, normally I'd put glue glaze on, but I'm looking at the time. And I have got one more demo I want to try and squeeze in if I can. So I'm going to use a little bit of spray glue for speed on these. There we go. But this is the other reason why these don't go in different directions. Because if you can see here, I'm going to put one there, like that, echoing this other corner. The other one, can you see, echoes precisely. so they point in the right way, just like that. Yeah, nice and simple. And then I'm going to match the same in the other sort of corner and other centre of this. But again, you see, you get that perfect little sweep by doing that. So you can see there. But I'm just going to take a little bit of the 3D glue gel. Let's take the one I've actually been using that I've left open, that I really shouldn't. And I'm just going to literally put my finger and flick petals up. I want them, it's called Tatty, because so that it is sort of tatty. And that's the idea, is you can really easily flick them up, just like that. So the Paula, is the triple pack dies all new. The flower and the leaf, Paula, are brand new tonight. The notched frame die was brand new last week. So that one has only been out since last Sunday. So a lot of people only have received it in the last couple of days. So yes, they are all new, but they are all new within the last they're all new within the last 7 days. So I'm just going to go with, there we go, I'm going to put one in there, and then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue gel on there and take one of the little tatty daisies. There we go. So we've got those beautiful corners. So you can see why we've matched this together, because it works exactly the same. I mean, you may not do all of the, I may have gone a little bit over the top with my flowers on this one, but really sometimes you can't have too many flowers. But it just shows you how they work so well with everything, and they work so well separately together. So you can see there, that beautiful sweep there, that gorgeous corner, that little sweep there. So you might just do one of these, or you might just do those two corners and leave the middle blank or have a sentiment in it. But you see how they're perfectly sized to work with the details on that notch. Yeah, that was the whole idea of doing these dies, was so that we could make something as pretty as that and delicate, but we could make something as dramatic as that, all with the same die of working with that Tatty Gerbera, but also put the centre in. Yeah? So you've got that beautiful centre in using those faceted gems. So that's the two we've done so far. So just to run back through it, the brand new dies that we've launched tonight are the Tatty Gerbera and the Morella Vines. So I've got the Tatty Gerbera die there and the Morella Vines. So they are brand new tonight, and they are £21.59, and you're going to save £5 on the RRP of these, and they're only available here. So this is an exclusive launch, only available through the craft store via the Art of Craft. But we've also added into the bundle, if you missed out on it last week, you can get the larger bundle, which includes the notched vine frames, and that one is just £39.58, and you're going to save £9 on that one. The other dies I've been using tonight, which are really worth getting, are the crosshatch, and that's what I've used there on that one. And this is the crosshatch square and tall, and you get the two little flower silhouettes dies included in there, and they are just £19.99, and you are saving £6 on those, because they're £12.99 each separately. And again, these are all exclusive bundles with us here on the Art of Craft and Crafts too. But have a look, there are 3 videos already on YouTube for you to make. So go onto YouTube and you'll see there's videos there already showing you exactly how to make all of these flowers and all of these projects and the cards. So I was going to show you a couple more quick techniques with these, because I really think it's worth it, and get as much demo in as we can. So this is the one I cut a few minutes ago, so you can see there again, Piece of card cut to 5 3/4 by 4 1/8. And this is just our coconut white card. Yeah. And all I've done is cut it. I'm going to put it on the non-slip mat, the multi-use mat, because it won't move. If you don't have a mat like this and you want to do it, you might have to pop it onto a magnetic sheet to stop it moving, because it will slide all over the place, but I don't have to bother on the mat. And again, using the dauber and the same Mimosa Aurora Fusion ink pad, because these are the ones with the glitter and the sparkle in, which just works so beautifully with this. Take some of that, and all I'm going to do is scribble over the back of the die. And this die was specifically designed for you to be able to do this. So if you love those beautiful Gerberas that we did, so if you loved all those beautiful coloured Gerberas, but you say, oh, but I haven't got all those colours of card, if you've got colours of ink, you can get the same look by doing this technique through onto your white card. So don't think, oh, I've got to have every colour of card going. You don't. This die was designed so that you could just use white card and colour through. Or you could spray card, or you could even spray through. You could even, you could even spray through and stencil. If you watch one of the videos, you'll see I've actually used then the waste piece. I've used this waste piece as a stencil, and it gives you a beautiful flower stencil as well. But can you see there when I take those out? So there's your stencil. Can you see when you take those out, you only get a tiny white edge. Literally the tiniest white edge. So you can use white card and basically make any colour at all of Gerberas that look right just by using all the different colours of inks. And lots of people are discovering that. Susan Mickelbach has just said she likes inking the Zora flower dye. I love doing that. I think that looks amazing when we do that. But you can see there, so I've got those, got my flowers, nice and simple. But now I want to add a middle into them, and I don't want to use gems. This is all about what else we can do. So this time I've grabbed the Aurora Fusion ink pad in Apple Teeny, which is that beautiful sort of like a verdant green. And again, I'm using the other end of one of the sort of stick foam daubers and just colouring the middle. This is what I love about the Fusion ink. They layer up without sort of muckying. And I'm just popping that in and just colouring the centre. So that way, I don't need to have, the gems or anything else. I don't need to put anything in the middle. I can just colour them. So again, if you haven't got gems, you haven't got anything, your dies can work just so well for you. So you see there, let's pick that one up. Look, and that one up. They look as if we've been really clever. And of course we haven't. We've been really simple. So, let's see. I've got so many bits around absolutely everywhere. So I'm just going to take these bits. Sorry, here's me doing things off camera and not explaining anything at all. So I'm just going to take a scrap piece of white card. I'm going to put one of those on, which is, again, that stunning crosshatch. Yeah, I'm going to go left to right. And now, can you see why they're both in the same direction? And I don't even, all I'm going to do to shape these is move them in my hand. But look what a beautiful sort of project you can create just by using white card. There we go. And ink. There we go. Simple, easy, really works. But it just, using that crosshatch really just works with it. I'm going to put that very carefully to one side because I want to make sure I glue that down, because I love that. I will glue that down and put it on Facebook. So we'll share that one. But of course, I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've still got 7 flowers left. So from one piece of card and one pressing, I could make that card twice just with the flowers you get from that flower plate. That's what I love about my flower plates, because you can see you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 flowers. So that means you're going to get 10, 20, 30, 40, 3, 6, 9, 12. You're going to get 52 flowers from an A4 sheet of card. Using your inks, you can get any colour at all. So, one more quick technique I want to show you with these. But just remember, if you can join me at 6 o'clock on Wednesday on the Art of Craft, and I will be showing some other bits and some different things and techniques of these, or join me on the John Next Door official page at 7 o'clock on Wednesday, and I do that every Wednesday, and there'll be more demonstrations of these. But this is an idea I've kind of moved or nicked from one our wonderful Carol Bignell did, and I noticed she'd made really fluffy flowers like these. And I thought, what's that? And they're really thin, but how many layers has she had to cut? And I realised this is photocopy paper. So this is 80 GSM photocopier paper. And all I've done, and I've got one here, is, I'll show you, is simple. I've got normal 80 GSM photocopier paper, and I've cut 1, 2, 3 layers. You could get away with 4, but I found 3 is best for mine. And I want to show you another trick. If I put this on here, put another piece of paper on top. So this is the mucky dye. So this is the dye that I coloured the ink on. So I'm just going to run that through my machine, just like that, with a piece of the paper on top. Make sure it stays where it's supposed to. And we're just going to run that through our die cutting machine. And what you get when you cut that is you get these really thin layers. So you get really, really thin layers. And I want it to cut so I can show you. So here we go. So first of all, there's the piece of paper from the top. So there's my background, because it's got the flowers all in white embossed into it. That will make the most beautiful background. Then here, look, all of them cut. Peel it off. So let's just pop out the bigger ones. So, because of course there's 2 of each size, there's 3. There, ooh, if I can pop it out, is another 3. There's 6. That will make me the most simple full flower. But what? Pull it out. So I've got 1. No, 1, 2, 3. And if I want to make it really full, I do the others, because remember there's 2 each of all 4 of the sizes, and then 5 of that little centre, which is absolutely perfect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there I've got 6 pieces. All I do, take a lump of blue tack or something like that, and poke a hole in the middle of each of your flowers. You can pull them together and do them all together, but I found when I was doing this, it's easier and better to thread them on individually. But let's do these ones together. So just like that. Then take a brad, because we've all got loads of these. We've all got, if you're anything like me, you've got loads of brads. This is actually a card deco set I got from the Art of Craft. And all you do is thread it through and scrunch one up. But already, beautiful, delicate flowers. You put as many layers into this as you want to. So we just go in and put another layer on. So I can go for 3, but look how full it is with 3. If I want to really make it full, almost like a water lily, I think. Let's go 4. Let's go the whole hog and do 6. So 4, 5, and 6. Scrunch it up each time and just open my brad out. But there we go, look. We have a beautiful full scrunchy flower. And again, here's a little card blank I've already made up using some circle dies. So I can take those vines, because of course they twist perfectly around there, and we can put our flower on. So simple, elegant, or I can go corners. But you would never think, if you make this, you would never ever think that that flower, let's glue it on, let's be sensible. You would never think that that flower is made out of photocopier paper. So you don't need the most expensive things ever. This is just made out of copier paper. And again, you could simply colour through onto the paper. Or you could spritz the paper or spray it or ink it or anything else. You don't have to have the most expensive card or anything to make yourself a beautiful full flower just like that. So many different options and so many different things that we can do. But I just want to say thank you for joining me tonight here on the Craft Store live with the Art of Craft and Crafts too. Thank you so many of you for joining us. We have put the links are on there, so if there's anything you want to get, so if you do want to get hold of the exclusive brand new Launch Tonight bundle, it is just £21.59, and that's save £5, and that's available from the Art of Craft, and that's coming directly from us. And because it's over £20, that will be free postage and packing. So you will get your postage and packaging on that completely free. If you missed out on last week's, you can add into that the notched frame, and on the notched frame die set you're going to save another £9. So you're going to save £9 on that one. So if you missed out on that last week and you want that one, you can get that one for £39.58. The cards that I've been doing, a lot, these Gerberas work so beautifully well on the crosshatch. So if you didn't get the crosshatch, it's a wonderful time to add them in. So you can get those at £19.99, save £6. And if you want centres for your Gerberas, then, I mean, I'd throw this in anyway. 6 packs of the sparkle faceted gems, one of each colour, for just £9.99. You're saving over £10 on that one. So loads of different options, all of them available from the Art of Craft, which is direct. Over £20, it's free P&P in the UK. And over that, if you're anywhere else in the world, then you will just pay it at cost. So they will just charge you cost. But thank you for joining me tonight. And if you can, join me on John Next Door official Facebook at 7 o'clock on Wednesday for Craft Cave Live, or on the Art of Craft Cave, the Art of Craft page at 6 o'clock on Wednesday, when we'll be doing some brilliant midweek offers. So